Welcome everyone to the Tactical Tavern. I'm your host Tomas Salas, and in this video we are checking out the Halfbreed Blades CCK-02 Compact Clearance Knife. With that being said, let's cut into it. The CCK-02 or Compact Clearance Knife is designed as a close quarter combat tool. It comes in a variety of different blade shapes, but the one in front of you is the Tanto design. Initially, when I picked it up, my first thoughts were what a robust blade. It does have a very thick spine and a comfortable ring, and we're gonna go over some of the pros and the cons in this video to help you decide if this may be right for you. The CCK-02 comes in with an overall length of 7.79 inches and a blade length of 3.94 inches. It comes in with a thickness of 0.23 inches comprised of D2 tool steel, and this is a full tang knife including the ring, meaning that it is quite robust. Online it's listed as a flat grind, which is semi-true, but I actually noticed a slight hollow grind on my Tanto that transitions towards the tip of a flat blade. So towards the tip you have some reinforcement there for your heavy penetration activities, but then towards the bottom you actually maintain a lot of slicing capability for some of your more admin or EDC cutting tasks. Primarily, I feel that this is a tactical blade designed to clear your way to your primary defensive tool. The handle measures in at 3.85 inches with two G10 pieces sandwiched together there for some added heft. It also has a sub hilt, so you can get a pretty aggressive grip in the forward grip, even though I feel primarily this is going to be designed towards a reverse grip or ice pick grip. And as we mentioned, this is a chunky boy coming in at 4.19 ounces. In that reverse grip, the ring is surprisingly comfortable. At first, looking at it, I thought the shape was a little bit awkward, but when you get your finger in there and your thumb capped on top, it feels comfortable both with the edge out and the edge in. I also thought that the sub hilt was gonna really bite into my hand, but it does a really good job at maintaining a comfortable position to where I feel I can really grip down onto it and open up my packages. As we take a closer look at the blade, I love the grind. The thickness is comfortable, again, using it in that forward grip, and I love the subtlety of the fuller that they added in here, which will help you get it in and out of whatever medium you got it stuck in. An enhancement that I would make to this blade is having a little bit of a more gradual taper as we get into the tip of the blade. In the hand, it kind of bites just a little bit in there. It's a little bit sharp around the edges. Similar in the forward grip, I don't feel comfortable resting my thumb on that edge. It is quite sharp, but it is comfortable when you line it up on the top of the spine. Again, keep in mind, do I feel that this is going to be an EDC or bushcrafting knife you're going to be carving and making feather sticks with? Absolutely not. This is going to be meant for deploying when you need it. It's comfortable enough in that grip to get you back into the fight and get a bad guy off you. Now let's talk about the sheath. I have a love-hate relationship with the sheath because it offers such great retention, minimal rattle. You can insert the blade left or right-handed. I think that's really important, especially if you're working in a close quarter arena. You can quickly get your blade back in there, go hands-on, tie up a subject with some zip ties, whatever you got. And that's nice, knowing that you can just quickly get it in. You don't have to fiddle around which side it's going in. Mine shipped out with a dot clip, so you can loop this through some MOLLE. You can still get this around your belt, although it does take a little bit of finesse. They also shipped it out with a more robust clip if you wanted something to mount to your duty belt, giving you a couple different options of how you want to mount it. I do enjoy that there is a drainage hole towards the tip here to allow any liquids to come out or any moisture if you're working in a more aquatic environment. Again, keep in mind it's D2 tool steel, which is a little bit more on the carbonated side, so keep your blades oiled or waxed with some wicked wax. While it's indexed in the sheath, I found that it is quite easy to get your finger in there and deploy. There's not a lot of gunk in there. Directly comparing this to the Benchmade SOCP dagger, sometimes under stress, it can be challenging to get your finger in the hole. But this sheath does an outstanding job at allowing you to get a full combat grip before deploying your tool. Getting it back in the hole is where we have a little bit of a challenge. It's even on both sides, so a couple of times I've missed it trying to get back in there. And the big concern for me is that this has a cutout here that allows a quarter of the blade to stick out as it goes back in. So if you're gripping this full-handed, there's a chance that you could cut yourself. In a high-stress situation, I think it is very important to avoid as much injury as possible. And the side of this is completely exposed, so a couple times when I've gone to put it in, I feel like if you were completely clamping down on the sheath, again, I don't know why you would be, but if you were, that blade edge could get really close to your finger and you could cut yourself. On the backside, they did a decent job at preventing that. However, it's also a metal bar that goes around the entire outside of the sheath. I'll get some close-up shots so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And I actually did dull the edge of my blade going in there because it is a complete metal bar on the freshly sharpened edge. I did not enjoy that. Again, I really enjoy how discreet the sheath is and robust, allowing a very tight and secure grip. However, I think it could have been done a little bit differently to avoid any edge damage to your blade or to yourself. The CCK-02 Tanto also shipped out with a trainer, and I love trainers, especially for a more martial arts style blade. It's important to have a trainer. The trainer blade on this is beveled, giving you an exact weight and feel of your tool. Now, I do feel that this would be very valuable in slowly drawing your blade and practicing getting it out or transitioning to other tools. However, I would personally be very cautious while using this with a training partner. And why might that be? Well, because it is a beveled trainer, the edge is very sharp for a trainer, meaning that if you bang yourself on that, you're gonna get bruised, potentially cut. Again, that tip is also very acute, so you could do some puncturing damage to this, even though it is a trainer. The last part, and probably the one that freaked me out the most, was having a divot here that is razor sharp. I mean, that would rip flesh. So again, Halfbreed Blades, if you're watching, I love your stuff, but that trainer does need a little bit of work. If you are using this, again, in that more slower environment, practicing deploying your blade and using it in confined or close quarters, I think it would be fine, but I'm definitely gonna have to sand down that razor sharp area. Maybe you're not a fan of ring blades, so I'm also gonna directly compare this to the Halfbreed Blades Pacaw we recently did a review on. I'll also get a close-up shot of the direct comparison to one of the most popular close quarter combat tools, the Benchmade SOCP dagger, and it is much slimmer, lighter. However, it is much more challenging to deploy under stress, although you do trade off some more lightweight capabilities as compared to this very robust and big tool. A direct comparison to both will show you that the Benchmade SOCP is much lighter, faster, and nimble, but you're also going to be making much smaller holes. Not to say it's not effective, I wouldn't want to get stuck with that, but if you go with the CCK-02 Tanto, that is a massive hole, more hemorrhaging, more bleeding. And I know some people might complain about the D2 tool steel that's being used on here, but keep in mind the Benchmade is also 440C, so they're both meant for one purpose. Both sheaths are very streamlined. However, I feel you get much better versatility in mounting options with the Halfbreed blades. And yes, you can spin it like a karambit, although it is definitely a little bit more tip forward heavy, so keep that in mind. But while spinning it, something I do like is that ring style really does a good job at locking you in. And a subtlety that I think is important with the single-edged Tanto is that you have that back swedge that can allow you to strike bone or any hard area for a less lethal option, so I think that's important. They do make a double-edged version, so that would definitely give you some extra extension and reach to lacerate an opponent. At the time of this review, you can find the CCK-02 by Halfbreed Blades for around $199 and the combo trainer pack for around $255. Again, keep in mind there are a few different styles of blade shape that you can go with that may suit your preference. If you want something really robust and heavy duty, this is certainly a great option to check out. But let me know, what do you guys think in the comment section down below? Is this something you would add to your duty belt or vest for a close quarter combat situation? If you enjoyed this video or you found this review helpful, please make sure to drop a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe so you won't miss future videos helping you save money and upgrade your gear. With that being said, thank you for watching. Make sure to check out our other socials at Tactical Tavern. We look forward to seeing you in another video. And remember, be prepared, be practical, stay tactical.